From the moment that we're conceived, one thing is for certain. We are going to be born into a world that has alcohol in it. And it's not just a world that has alcohol in it. It's a world that really sees alcohol as a great, positive, beneficial thing that adds real value to a human's life. But is all of that stuff actually true? And what I want to do for you in this video is I actually want to break down 7 things that you didn't know about alcohol. And I just want to tell you one thing before we get into it. This is not going to be like one of those clickbait things that you see on the internet that's like 7 rubbish facts. Because you probably already know those facts. You probably already know that there's 7 calories in a gram of alcohol and it costs governments billions of dollars, and you know all the scare tactics. So I don't want to tell you that stuff because you already know it. But what I want to talk to you about are things that basically nobody else really knows. Like the information in this video, it's probably going to give you a bit of a wake-up call where you really start questioning things and asking yourself, is what I know really true? And really, that's the first step of freeing yourself. It's actually building a worldview that is realistic. It's not the one that was handed to you at birth. It's creating your own conclusions based on the truth, not based on, common sense and what other people are telling you. It's based on these kind of ideas and the stuff that I teach on this channel. And why should you listen to me? Well, my name is Leon Sylvester. I run a company called SoberClear, and I work with business owners and professionals, helping them get 100% control of their drinking through using first principles thinking. And if you actually click the link in the description, there's a free training showing you exactly how I do it, how we apply that, how I help people. And if you look at the people on the screen now, you can see a ton of reviews, a ton of testimonials. These are people that I've worked with, and they all know this stuff, right? This stuff, if any of you guys are in the program and you're actually watching this video, this is going to be nothing new to you. You'll already know this information, but still, for you guys that are still on your journey, you're not in control yet, you've not stopped, you're not feeling good about your decision to be a non-drinker, you need to watch this entire video. And I'm so excited to share it with you, so let's get into it. So, the first point that I want to make, and the first thing that most people don't actually realize about alcohol, is that it's actually ethanol, a toxic substance. So, all alcohol is ethanol. It is a poison, right? That is it. Just because it comes with all of this fancy marketing behind of it and this beautiful imagery, the actual substance that you put in your body when you put it in your mouth is ethanol. And ethanol is toxic. It's poisonous. A pint of ethanol will kill you.
Y'all killing me with this.
Most people don't realize that. Most people just buy into the conditioning. They buy into the marketing. They buy into the illusion. They just see it as a product, the same way that they might see, a mobile phone, or they might see a car. They kind of see wine the same way. But wine is not the same because it's something that you put into your body, and this is what you're actually consuming. You're consuming a toxin. You're consuming something that is really screwing you. And that was a massive wake-up call for me. When I started seeing it as ethanol instead of alcohol, instead of a great thing, a beneficial thing, I saw it as a toxin. It's going to kill you if you drink a neat pint of it. That's where I was kind of like, whoa, wait a minute, right? It's ethanol. It's a toxic substance. And the only reason why, people can drink wine and drink beers and drink, vodka and tonics and stuff like that, well, is usually because it's been heavily diluted or heavily sweetened to really mask the taste of ethanol, of the poison. So that's the first thing. The next thing that so many people don't even realize is that alcohol, or ethanol, is a powerfully addictive drug. Not really a shock horror, right? You obviously know that it's a drug. You know that it's really doing nothing for you, but it is a powerfully addictive drug. Now, the reason why I say it's powerfully addictive is because of 2 separate things. Now, the first is the actual physical side for the drinker. Usually when people try to stop drinking it, they really have to fight. They have to struggle. They feel cravings. They really want it. They go through some withdrawal, and then they live the rest of their life in misery because it's an addictive drug, right? It's a drug that once you drink one of it, the nature of the drug is to make you want to drink another and another and another. And for most people that start drinking, 18, 19, 20, there is a chain reaction of drinking one after another after another. Doesn't matter how far apart they are, right? It could be daily drinking, it could be drinking at the weekends, whatever. There's a chain reaction that never ends. They will drink until they die. And the reason why they drink it is because it is a drug, right? That's it. They get kind of stuck in this cycle, and then they try to, reduce it. They'll get the craving. They'll be like, oh, something's not quite right. They have the drink, they feel better. again and again and again and again and again. And people drink for 20, 30, 40 years. They don't realize that it's drug addiction. They don't realize that they're stuck in the cycle. And they don't realize that if they get rid of the drug, they're no longer in the cycle, right? That's the kind of the sad thing. And the reason why people don't stop it is because they're afraid, right? When you're addicted to a drug, you're afraid to remove the drug. It's all part of the addiction. You get afraid that life is not going to look the same without the drug. And the other reason why it's so addictive is because of the world that we live in, because of the way that alcohol is portrayed in the media when you meet new people. Well, the conclusion is that we live in a world that sees alcohol as a good thing. So when you try to stop drinking it, you're going to look like you are freaking crazy. Most people are going to say, why don't you just have one or two? Why don't you moderate? Why don't you just cut down? Not everybody. Some people are a little bit more awake. It's sad to say, but most people really live their life in like a duh state of brain. It's like, duh. You know, they really just live without having any awareness, without being awake. They just kind of like drift through life. And when you've got these almost zombie-like people saying, why don't you just have one or two, man? It's like, come on, let's wake up. But really, I'm not trying to like put people down here because I bought into those people's ideas. I really, bought into them. I would be influenced by those kind of people, but it's an addictive drug, right? We've really got to realize that it's an addictive drug. The only way for you to break the cycle is to get rid of the drug. And just going on from that second point is that the seventh thing that you didn't know is that we are conditioned to see it as a good thing. And why I say this is because hopefully you can read that. My handwriting is like a 10-year-old's, but it's okay. So when I say that we're conditioned to see it as a good thing, I mean that, just like I said at the introduction of this video, when we're born, we are born into a world through thousands of years of conditioning, see alcohol as a good thing, right? Everywhere that we look, alcohol is seen as a beneficial thing. 99% of the time, okay? There's that 1% where, you might see the drunk driving campaign on TV, or you might see the movie that really shows the true side of alcohol. You might see a documentary. But most of the time, the world that we live in see alcohol as a good thing. And that's not just like a conspiracy. That's not like I'm not saying that somebody's trying to control you. I'm just saying that pretty much most people see it as a good thing. So when you look at the news, when you go on the internet, when you talk to somebody about alcohol, that's the idea, and that's really the conclusion that everybody's got. But it ain't true, right? Alcohol is not a good thing. It doesn't do anything for you. And really, we're conditioned to see it as a good thing because pretty much everybody in the world is afraid to stop drinking it. Most people don't realize this. Most people don't realize that it's literally just repetition after repetition after repetition that's really keeping them trapped. And when you can start seeing it, when you can kind of go through the world and see the inputs for what they are, and you can kind of go, wait a minute, is that actually true? That's when you get the power back. That's when you can start really just waking the hell up and really seeing it for what it is. Which leads me to the fourth point. And that is that there isn't a single benefit to consuming it. I can't even draw a straight line anymore. But there's not a single benefit whatsoever to putting ethanol in your body, despite the studies that you may have seen, despite the BBC that are going to tell you that wine drinkers live 1 year longer. Despite all of that crap, there is still not a single benefit at all for putting that stuff in your body. What would you do if tomorrow on the news, all of a sudden, bleach drinkers lived 1 year longer, right? There's been an experiment done in, the south of Italy where they have a Mediterranean diet, but they also always drink a shot of bleach every day. If you saw that they lived 1 year longer, what are you going to look at? What are you going to think? Are you going to look at that and think, oh man, I need to get that bleach. I need to just have that shot every day. Of course you're not. You're going to be like, what the hell are they putting that poison in their body for? Are they crazy? Same exact thing. There is not a benefit to putting that stuff in your body. It does nothing for you. It can't, because it's ethanol, a toxic substance. People are just so crazy these days that they think that putting a toxic substance in their body is a good thing because they see it on the news, because they see it in the media. There is no benefit to putting that stuff in your body. And I'll just tell you why. You'll see, one study every few years that pops up that says, yeah, that wine drinkers live longer. There's good benefits to consuming wine. But then there are hundreds of studies, if not thousands of studies, that say the opposite. So we're kind of like cherry picking the data. We're cherry picking one study, and that's basically going to allow us to prolong this drug addiction, to prolong this destruction, to prolong this just nonsense for years. And it's sad because there is no benefit to putting that stuff in your body whatsoever. Which leads me to point 5. And most people don't realize this, but stopping drinking is not hard because it all boils down to building this paradigm. It all boils down to really understanding the truth. Because once, if you really internalize this kind of information, if you really internalize these ideas, what do you think is going to happen? Are you going to walk out to the street and then watch these people that are drinking and look at them and think, oh, that looks fun, that looks good, putting that shite in your body that's doing nothing for you? Are you actually going to look at those people with envy? Are you going to look at those people and think, wish I could get involved? No, you're not. You're going to look at those people and feel sorry for them. You're going to look at them and think, man, if only you knew what life is like when you're free. When you're free from that cycle, life is 100 times better, 1,000,000 times better. And provided that you can actually really solidify and build that paradigm where you see it for what it is, it's not difficult to stop. Like, let's say that you've spent the last year drinking bleach. You realize bleach is doing nothing for you, but then you start seeing tons of negatives coming up from the bleach, right? You might be getting spots. You might be putting on weight. You're wasting thousands of dollars on this bleach. How hard is it going to be for you to give it up? Well, it's going to be an instant decision because you're not crazy. You don't live in a world that sees bleach as a good thing. You just be like, whoa, wait a minute. This sucks. It's out. But because of these reasons, because it's addictive, because we're conditioned to see it a good thing, because when we stop drinking it, all the inputs are going to be like, you're crazy, it's hard, and so on. We buy into the idea of it actually being difficult to stop. It ain't difficult. It's just a decision. It's a decision to say, I ain't falling for this anymore. I'm not buying into this anymore. I'm done. I'm finished. I'm out. That's how easy it is, right? That's what I did 3 years ago. I built a paradigm where I saw alcohol for what it was. I did the introspection. I did the work. I applied first principles thinking, and I really just broke things down into its component parts and realized, what the hell am I doing with my life? And then things clicked. I made the decision. I haven't looked back. And this leads me into the fifth point, and it's that the benefits of not drinking dwarf any perceived benefits of drinking. What most people think of when they think of stopping drinking is they think that they're making a sacrifice and removing something. But really, there's nothing to give up in the first place because when you don't drink, the benefits will blow you away. It means you can get your health back, you can get your relationship back, you can get your business to the next level, your career to the next level. Everything gets better when you don't drink because there is no benefit to putting poison in your body at all. Which really leads me to the seventh point, and it's that when you don't drink it, life starts to take off. Life can really start picking up. You can start gaining huge momentum again. You can really start taking back control of every area of your life. It will be the best decision that you have ever made, bar none. I've not drank for 3 years now, and I'm telling you, every single area of life has improved without fail. I don't miss it. I don't care for it. I'm done. I'm finished. I'm out. And if you want help doing that, make sure to head over to soberclear.com. There's a bit more information about the program and how I help people go through that transformation. And let me know in the comments which one was your favorite of these 7 points. Have a great day.